Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Nova Aetas. Now, if you're looking for amazing deals on games, there's a weekly sale currently going on at g2a.com, and you can find the link in the description. So, when we left off, I was not here at Barrier, I was at Diggory, and we had just attacked the Aztecs once again. Now, I've realized that we need to be a little bit better when it comes to actually defeating them, because right now we're kind of equal, right? Because what's happening is we're going in there, we're fighting them, and we end up losing mainly just because we don't have as many forces in our army. Now, if we had about 100 or 120, then we would very easily be able to push our advantage, and we'd be able to maybe even besiege something in their territory. But as it stands, we don't really have that opportunity. Now, many of you have been, shall we say, complaining about the lack of off-screen progression being shown, which is actually kind of strange to me, because I would have assumed that many of you would appreciate not seeing the tedious, grinding nature of Warband in its entirety, because obviously Warband, it's a pretty grindy game sometimes, and it can get tedious, is mostly tedious, for the most part, well, at least where this mod is concerned, because obviously there's a lot of grinding to be done. You need to get prestige, you need to get renown, you need to make sure that you are perfectly fine with your wages and all that sort of thing. Now, as you can see, I have restructured our army slightly, and I've been fighting a couple of desert bandits and looters in the Saranid territory. That is where I usually go to level up units, if you wanted to know, because, you know, that's just... yeah, I kind of find it a bit disgusting as well that many of you accuse me of cheaty things, and that's perfectly fine, because usually, if it's a special feature, I will employ those methods just to show off the mod a little bit. But in full series, I'm not gonna cheat to make myself extremely powerful. I'm not gonna make myself anything, because as you know, I die pretty easily. I have not leveled myself up in any way, shape, or form, and as you see, we have 39 Swedian militia here ready to level up because of the fight that we just had. Unfortunately, it seems as though the Roroks take a lot longer to level up. I'm trying to get some crossbowmen here, but they seem to take longer. Or at least, maybe that's not the case. Maybe this is a higher tier of unit or something along those lines. But yeah, basically what I do is I run around the Saranid territory, fight a bunch of desert bandits and things. There's a lot of them here, by the way. If you can catch them, then they are pretty good to fight. They have horses and lances, or spears for the most part, and so they are pretty... yeah, they do a lot of damage, but hopefully they won't kill many of your forces. But we took out a party of 26 of them with just recruits. So, yeah, and we had a very small amount of casualties as well, thanks to our surgery skill, of course. So, yeah, it's actually not going too badly, but that's basically how I do things. And then, obviously, as time goes on, we do get a tournament here and there. And I also find it amusing that one of you specifically said that it was very, quote-unquote, cheaty to participate in a tournament at these difficulty settings. Now, I don't know about you, okay, but I don't really want to be stuck in a tournament for 30 minutes just fighting. I mean, yeah, it's okay, fighting is kind of fun in Warband at times, but I don't want to be doing that 10 times over and over and over again. I hope you can understand that. I'm sure many of you do, but some of you, not really. So I'm going to be participating in this tournament because I was actually invited, as you can see. I was actually invited, and I would very much like to participate in it, because this is actually under the control of the Turgan Horde, and I don't want to annoy them. So, yeah, I don't think it would actually annoy them that much, but anyway, I'm going to participate in this, and we're going to see what we can do about, well, earning some cash. Alright, so the main reason why I actually wanted to participate in a tournament is for renown, because obviously renown, and well, obviously the money as well, does make a good deal of difference, but for the most part I wanted the renown, because that seems to be the best way to get renown, unless you are, of course, with an extremely elite force of units and you're able to take on a much larger force than yourself. Obviously I don't have that, so tournaments were the next best thing. I gained 23 renown from this, and I guess the tournament award of 25 as well. I don't know whether that is actually the case, but That's pretty nice. So we're also gaining some experience. I leveled up, actually, while doing this, which is pretty cool. So let's actually just take a look at our food situation. I could buy some tools. Yeah, they're a little bit too expensive for me. I'm going to buy some stone, actually. This is also what I do. I just take a look at the marketplace and see what I want to buy. Sometimes I'll buy some tools, dependent on if they're pretty cheap. But right now, that's 700. That's a little bit too expensive for my liking. And I also check the tavern just in case we're going to find a ransom broker, which is always cool too. So we're gonna buy a couple of slaves. We're not gonna buy too many. We're gonna buy about maybe 6 of them. So another 2 that we need there. There we go. And there's also a master weaponsmith here, who sells very, oh my, very impressive weapons, as you can see. Oh, wow. You know what's hilarious about this, though? My rapier is almost as good as some of these, and these require 28 strength, which is pretty insane. Some of them are two-handed / one-handed, but yes, as you can see, I mean, this one is obviously a lot better in terms of cutting damage than our rapier, but obviously this is a two-handed / one-handed, and ours is just a one-handed, so if you really want to, of course you can do this, but I would highly recommend using them as a two-handed, but yes, there we are anyway. And can I actually, wait a minute. I can actually make, yeah, I can make profit just from selling to this guy. Wow, that is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. Look at that, 2,230, so, oh, he has nothing. Ah, okay, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? That makes very, very much sense. Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to go to the marketplace here, or should I? I think I probably can. Yes, I can. There we go. So there's 2,230. Very nice indeed. And now I'm going to try and find a couple of desert bandits. Oh, there's some. Okay, so yeah, so far just to report a little bit. So far I have spent about 40 minutes. Yes, 40 minutes off screen and just running around doing things, and we have now found also a desert bandit party. So 41 of them. This is going to be really, really painful or really, really lucrative. We're gonna see. So let's see now. We have 73 against, well, they're 40-something. Yes, 41 even. And they have all horses. Yeah, this is gonna be painful, I think. It's gonna be very painful. Oh, we've already killed one. That's good. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be very painful because obviously I mostly have Swadian recruits. But, yeah, we're just going to have to see whether we can prevail here. Ooh, gotta be careful of that spear, thank you. But as you can see, even recruits can basically handle themselves against these guys, because they mostly have spears, you see. And I thought to myself, yeah, this seems like the best place to probably grind out a couple of units and things, because obviously, you know, it's not like they're sea pirates or anything like that. I mean, they're not that difficult to kill. And it's kind of a shame, really, that we don't have sea pirates closer, because obviously, well, we do have some sea pirates on the Aztec Islands and in the New World, basically, but I kind of wanted to avoid having to go on my ship too much, because we kind of don't have any towns around there, so I can't actually buy any resources, I can't buy food, I can't sell loot, and stuff like that. So, as you can see, we only lost 3. And one of them was a manhunter that I actually rescued from some. And this is also rather cool. We can capture some enemies, and then we can release them for prestige, or we can just take them prisoner. I don't really need to take them prisoner because my growth at the moment at Diggory, our only good colony right now, is actually really good. So, yeah, we have... Is it 85 now? I think we have 85 colonists, yes. So... yeah, I'm gonna try to obviously get a couple more pieces of timber, which I already have, obviously, and then we are going to build a couple more houses, and then we'll have the opportunity to get to 100, and then we can finally start selling things. But one of you mentioned in the comments, actually, which was actually very, very helpful, is that dyes, the thing that I am currently going to be manufacturing, are probably one of the worst things to go for, which I'm kind of sad about, really. Because, according to you, you took silver, and silver was 1,400 per one? Yeah, 1,400 per one to sell, and dyes are 200. So I basically shot myself in the foot, very, very much, But who knows, maybe once we get to stage 3, we can then start to expand to the island of Beartild or something along those lines, and we can try to get a little bit extra there, but yes, there we are. So, yes, here we go. Now we get to take a bunch of loot for us to sell. That is fantastic, very nice indeed. So, yeah, there you go. I was just chasing them throughout the entirety of the desert, which was, yeah, it's kind of annoying. But, yeah, okay, so I don't know whether to head back to Barry or to head on to Amarad. I think we'll just go over to Amarad because you never know, we might come across a couple more desert bandits. Maybe something with a pretty large army as well. There's our profits for this week. We're not really doing too well, but I'm hopeful that thanks to our slave trading and maybe doing another tournament, we might be able to afford another mansion or something along those lines. But yeah, that's basically how this mod goes. There's not much more I can do to actually further things unless I want to grind away for many years, which is what I'm already doing. But yes, I don't really want to be stuck grinding off screen when I could be recording things and actually, you know, making an episode. So yes. Anyway, let's try and get some more of those crossbowmen there, and I'm gonna put some footmen at the front here as well. One of you said that cavalry is pretty good against Aztecs, and another one said archers are good. So I decided to go for some Rodocks because they are pretty close by. And even though some of you suggested the Vagiers, I highly recommend going for Vagiers if you can, but obviously me, I'm pretty far away from their lands and I don't really want to run all the way up there, so yes, I'm gonna just decide to do this instead. So we have 65 against 37 here. As you can see, these guys are pretty easy to defeat, and they also have the upside of being pretty large in number. So yeah, even recruits can take these guys on, which is pretty cool, I gotta say. Pretty nice. I was kind of looking for something like that, and, well, thankfully I found something. So yes, they're going to kill quite a few with their initial charges, but that's just the way of things. You can't really do much about that unless you get your infantry into a better position, but even then, they're going to couch right through your shields for the most part. So, yeah, there is that to worry about, but it's not too bad because we can actually get a couple of kills ourselves. Maybe? Maybe? No? Come on, Diggory! Yes, there we go, okay. We gain 1 kill at least. 2. Yep, there we go. There's another one. There's another one. There we are. Look at the damage we're able to do with this rapier, though. It's absolutely amazing. It's really, really good. Anyway, we're going to just eliminate the rest of these guys. And, oh, they seem to be a little bit annoying here. Oh! Oh, that was close. That was very close. Okay, so you're going to try and poke me in the face, aren't you? I'm not going to allow that. Thank you. Come on, eliminate him. Ah. Maybe I can eliminate it. Yes, there we go. Thank you very much. Now, a nice thrust to finish him off. Yes, there we are. He was not looking forward to that thrust, that's for sure. No, certainly not. Okay, so there we go. 2 renown, 5 morale. The renown really isn't the reason why we're doing this, obviously. The tournaments really are the reason why we do, well, why we do them for renown, obviously. Let's get some more prestige there. I don't really need to sell them. I could take them back to the colony, but I don't really see a necessity in that either. I'm not really needing to do that, I suppose, because we can always get colonists from elsewhere. So let's get some more footmen here. As you can see, these guys level up pretty fast, and now we have some man-at-arms, and they are mounted. So we are going to give the next desert bandits a run for their money, pretty much. And there's actually some with prisoners too, so you can actually fight some desert bandits, and they have prisoners, and you can get some additions from there. There's find slaves. Oh, find slaves. Okay, I'm going to buy these crude tools, regular tools, because they are only 400, which is pretty nice. And I found that we basically always need tools. And this is exactly the reason why you need to do tournaments relatively a lot. At least I do. I'm not saying that you need to. I'm just saying that I usually like to do that because it's nice. It's a nice way to get some money. Anyway, let's try and sell some of these things here. As you can see, we're reducing the price pretty nicely. I could use a blunt weapon. Many of you have suggested that in the past, but I've always thought to myself that even though blunt weapons are very effective at gaining prisoners, I don't think I would be that good at using the blunt weapons I've so far seen that are available. So let's actually just take a look and see if there are any blunt weapons here that are good. Well, this is reasonable, but it needs 15 strength. And you can use it on a horse, but I don't know. I have played with a blunt weapon in the past, so I was kind of wanting to play with something a little bit different now. But yeah, there's some gunpowder. Ooh, the shields are actually pretty nice. But we got our shield for free, so I suppose that's fine. I don't think that's really a big deal. So let's go into the tavern and take a look around. Yeah. Should I take those guys? I could take those guys, because they're pretty good. I mean, you can see they're pretty good. They're armored. They have a rapier as well, which is kind of nice. We can be comrades at arms with our swords. And let's actually have a look here. Oh, 55 HP, pretty reasonable proficiencies. They're kind of average across the board, but it's kind of nice just to be able to pick up some infantry whenever you can at a tavern, if you can afford it, of course. And yes, now I am going to start leveling up trainer skill, I think. Even though I would like to go for some more charisma, for some more leadership, I don't think that's going to happen. You know why? Because what I can do is once I'm swimming in money, which obviously I'm not right now, what I can do is that I can go to one of the Norse pagan temples in the north, and I can donate money, and that will give me piety. I can also pray at each of the temples if I so desire. That will also give me piety, and piety increases my charisma. So that's going to be pretty amazing to do, because if I can just advance my charisma alone by increasing piety, I was going to say piracy or piety. Oh, that's almost what it is. Anyway, we are going to then have about 18 charisma for free, which is pretty cool. So I wasted a couple of attribute points on that earlier on in this series, which is kind of a shame, but it's not too bad, I suppose. Now, I should technically be improving our strength, but I'm going to be going for intelligence here, mainly because I would like to get trainer skill up as fast as I can. So I'm going to be doing that, and then we're going to obviously increase our surgery skills and things like that. I know one of you said to increase trainer skill on our companions, but they are stackable. It is actually stackable, the skill. So it's not that big a deal if we decide to level up trainer on ourselves and on Lorena and Matheld as well. I think they will probably be pretty good, but they're obviously pretty low level right now, so they will not be able to very easily, well, attribute things and contribute, should I say. Attribute? No, it would be contribute, thank you very much. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. Not much happened, but this is basically just showing you what I do off-screen so that when I do things off-screen, you don't have to worry about what I'm doing, because basically this is what I'm doing. And yeah, so you don't have to accuse me, quote-unquote, you don't have to, quote-unquote, accuse me of doing things that are a little bit shady, because I don't personally think that those things are shady in the least, but apparently some of you think that's really important for some reason. But anyway, it's a game, so I like to have fun, and I would think that you would like to have fun as well. Anyway, that will be it for this episode, and so I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.